So Google has released a new feature on Gemini called personalization. It is basically just giving access to Gemini to your Google account activities. So if you're using some of Google products like Google Chrome, Android, Google Docs, and many others, Gemini could have access to your activities, and therefore, when you're asking Gemini for a help or a question, it should be able to read all your historical data and then giving you a much better and personalized answer. For example, if you have been planning for visiting Europe, for example, and then you want, and then and on a different session, you are asking Gemini to buy a plane ticket, it should be able to answer the question assuming that you want to go to Europe, even though in your question you did not say anything about you want to go to Europe, but based on your historical data, since you have been planning to visit Europe, then Gemini would assume that and therefore can give you a personalized answer. That's just one example here. And I think in general, it allows you to make a simple prompt while getting a much better response. But on the other hand, I don't think this is for everyone because after all, you have to give extra data to Gemini, which is made by Google, and some people just not feeling comfortable sharing their info to Google, even though in some sense they actually have been sharing that. Like Google knows your browsing history, so I don't know why it's a big deal. I mean, it could be a big deal, but I think, let's be honest, we are sharing our data to Google anyway. So this is just a drop in the bucket. Now, if you want to use Gemini personalization, you can just go to gemini.google.com, which is the interface that you can, the website that has this Gemini interface. Or you can also use the mobile app, and then you can click Gemini, click on this menu, and then select personalization. And after that, it's going to prompt you with this message to confirm that you want to give access to Gemini to your search history, and just click connect now. Okay, now Gemini has access to my search history and I want to do some tests. Let's ask Gemini about all the AI news that I have read today, and I just want to summarize it in a bullet point because there are too many of them and I just cannot remember all of them. So, new AI models and updates, you likely encounter information about the release of capabilities models like Cloud, DeepSeek, Qwen, and Grok's offering. That's kinda correct. Perplexity news, you seem particularly interested in Perplexity AI. That is absolutely correct. I made a lot of videos about Perplexity. And then an AI image and video generation, that's kinda true. AI agents and platforms, yeah, I do. I've been talking a lot about AI agent lately. And then web development and AI. Oh, there is a bespoke UI. I was interested in the bespoke UI that Google used to demonstrate the Gemini capabilities. So that's why I'm reading that. And then Arc browser and integration. This is actually not today. This is from many weeks ago. So I don't understand why it's giving me this answer, even though I said that it has to be the data from today, but this is not from today. Well, I would say this is just hallucination. I think generally speaking, 80-90% of the answer is correct, but it still has this problem with hallucination. I mean, it's not exactly hallucination, but it's just not accurate because I wasn't reading about Arc browser today. It was from many weeks ago. But, I'll give it a go. Now, I want to know what is the most visited website according to my search history, my browsing history. What website I visited the most, and according to the answer, based on the search history, it appears you visited canva.com and also Perplexity. I think these two websites are the most popular according to my search history because I made videos about them. That's why it's there. And I want to ask something else that's a bit more useful, like suggest YouTube video ideas based on my browsing activities. I think that could be useful if it could give me something good. A deep dive into Perplexity AI's latest feature, maybe. Yeah, I've been making a lot of videos about that, comparing the power of Cloud and DeepSeek and then other AI models. Maybe. And AI agents, yeah, that's true. I made a lot of videos about AI agents lately, but this is very specific for productivity. Well, I would take that as an idea. And well, there are so many items here. I'm probably not going to use all of them, but some of them are legit, could be used on my YouTube video. Okay, so that's basically some capabilities that I could think of about Gemini personalization. Honestly, there could be more, but I don't browse too much on this browser session. That's why it doesn't know much more about me, but I think it's still pretty good. So if you want to use Gemini personalization, just go to gemini.google.com and then click on personalization. Still experimental, but I think it's decent. Anyway, if you want this video to be useful, then feel free to subscribe to this channel because I'm gonna be making more videos about AIs in the future. But in any case, I wish you a great day ahead.